figure out where they're going to attack first. And already Nairobi's in the action, Carbon Fin.
All right, it looks like we jump straight into it with the Royal Champion Invis charge. As the Royal Champion, going straight in towards this bottom side, working through this multi. Rerouting that RC to go into the core to grab the spitters, the poison spell, and even towards this town hall.
She is making a mad dash toward the core and needs to take this town hall down, slow down a little bit from the tornado trap. She's getting spun around into a giant bomb. It's going to blow up. She's going to make her way back in. Is going to try to get even more damage off. Can she finish it off? No, the town hall stands, Carbon Fin.
Oh, the town hall is there as the dragons are down with the warden. Going to move in towards the town hall as the king is placed to move his way up to the top side into the enemy Royal Champion. But now invest that warden ability, but still has the blimp to use.
That town hall takedown is so incredibly important early on. It secures the first star in the attack. And for anyone who's new to the esports scene, you want as many stars as you can get. The second one comes from destroying 50% of the base, and the third and final crucial star comes from destroying the entirety of it. But a 100% hit rate is not going to be coming as often as we had seen it in the past. We've seen hit rates actually plummet down into the 20s as of stage 2, and it looks like Nairobi is going to be coming short of that triple. His dragons are withering away on the final edges of this base and slowing down, slowly but surely reaching that 70% mark. But the Grand Warden is not going to be long for this world. A final few shots from our minion Prince will tear a couple more structures down. Sneezy spits out a few more shots against a multi-archer tower, but Nairobi is left in a lurch, Carbon Fin. That is the end of the attack.
77% 2-star.
Make it happen for his team. He's brought 13 invisibility spells for this Spirit Walk. We see the Royal Champion charging on in now. You just have to drop those invisibility spells every 10 seconds and try to get her deep into the space, taking out key defenses early on. Those Electro Boots are going to be very helpful at burning down defenses all around her, and popping that ability early on as well is another fantastic way to keep the DPS up for this early stab, Carbon Fin.
Been a very interesting first 2 attacks with the Invis Charge and Dragons. The Royal Champion Invis Charge is a very common attack that we're seeing in the monthly qualifiers, but really we've seen, at least I saw when I was covering it, a lot more Root Rider attacks than Dragons. But it's back-to-back Dragon attacks here, sticking to the air, as this RC is really charging her way through towards the monolith, and nice making that multi invisible so that the boots will finish it off and then continue securing the monolith here.
Brilliant strike. She went from all the way on the far right corner of the base to tear down all of the defenses on the left side corner. Hawk got extraordinary value from that strike and deploying now a siege barracks over on the right side to start the second stage of this attack. And right you are, that Spirit Walk charging in with an invisible Royal Champion is an extraordinarily effective way to set up for an attack, and often gets followed up with either Mass Dragons or one of Itsu's favorites, the Root Riders. In fact, Hawk is now following up on the opposite side. Top side's going to get an Inferno Dragon to try to get a little bit of chip damage done up at the top, while Hawk's main force is going to be charging into the core, ready to pop that Eternal Tome and protect these dragons when the damage is coming in hottest.
As that Warden ability is protecting the dragons, the King and some P.E.K.K.A.s with the super minions from the Siege Barracks have come through to the bottom side. They're looking to clear that as the dragons Minion Prince is also moving up to the top, so waiting to use his ability, as there is another Inferno Dragon, sends that to the far left side to try to help route these dragons. It's looking pretty good, especially with the hero ability of the King, that goes off, skips across, but it's now up to this Minion Prince to get the perfect timing of the ability to slow things down.
Defending King is going to get no value, unable to chop anything that's in the sky, and the Grand Warden is taken him out without much difficulty at all. Fires off the orb from the Minion Prince, and there's not much base left. He's already passed the 77% mark that Nairobi set, and it looks like it's gonna be a triple. Plenty of time to knock this base down. Get it, Hawk! Soaring above the competition and with a big smile on his face, we have seen our first 3-star of the day.
And DIZI coming in strong.
Starting out a star down when hit rates are so low is going to be very difficult to come back from, but we'll see if Invincible can be the man for the job. He's going to be starting off with his Spirit Walk in the bottom corner of the base, sending in that Invisible Royal Champion to do as much damage as she can manage.
Yeah, with that RC pushing through, notice how he does have the recall. So typically, you're not going to have as many invis spells because you're going to look to remove a small compartment with the Royal Champion and then pull her back. But yeah, indeed, like you said, that Spirit Fox is gone, so he has to use those invisibility spells even earlier than he probably wanted to.
Very bad news. You can wait 10 seconds between those invis deploys if you keep your Fox up, but you have to deploy every 4 1/4 seconds with that invisibility spell maxed out to keep her alive. Now, does recall the Royal Champion. We'll be able to use her on the main stage of this attack now, getting all of those heroes lined up over on the right side corner. Remember, defending heroes do more damage and attacking heroes are weaker in this hard mode. That means he really wants a 2v1 against that enemy Archer Queen to take her down early on. The main bulk of this army is charging right there at that 5 o'clock position, right into an Inferno Tower, and big shots from the Town Hall, Carbon Fin.
As the Clan Castle does get lured out, drops a skeleton spell on the backside, which kind of distracted the Ice Combs a little bit, so we can secure this Town Hall, and there is the Overgrowth to try to push these Root Riders towards the top side, up into the Spitter. But there was a Furnace that we did see on the defensive side, which I'm sure we're going to see a lot more Furnaces coming in to help these bases defend, because that can cause a lot of distraction and some annoyance in the attacks. But this one, not too much, as he just powers through the core. The troop launcher finally now has disappeared, as those Giants, the Archers, wall breakers that came from that troop launcher are assisting, as those Giants are tanking and trying to protect his troops.
Fire Spitter and multi-target Inferno and a multi-Archer Tower all spitting away now at these attacking troops. They're clumped up and taking a lot of splash damage from the Wizard Tower and the Mortar and that cannon as well. Invincible is not looking too confident. He kicks back, puts his hands behind his head. He knows that there's nothing else left to deploy. He can only just cross his fingers and hope for as much percentage as possible. He's passing the standard set by Nairobi and looking to get into the mid-90 percentage, but it is going to be so difficult to get through these walls. Even with the Fire Spitter turned around, that Archer Queen is going to be taking fire from left and right. The Phoenix is going to be the last remaining troop to spit out a few fireballs. Expo has been demolished, but at only 92%. Only Exceed missed their chance out of this month's qualifiers, so expect to see these players holding up that standard as we get into the next attack from Darkstar, starting again with the Royal Champion going invisible to stab at this base.
But notice he has 2 Overgrowths. Typically with some Root Riders, you only take 1, so it's very curious to see these 2 Overgrowths and how he deploys them. Will he just overgrowth the same section twice after the first one slowly comes back over time? We'll have to keep our eye out as he does pull that Royal Champion back, and the benefit here was he did not let his Spirit Fox die. So he'll be able to use the Spirit Fox ability later when he redeploys that Royal Champion. As the Root Riders Valkyrie, everything is down to send right on into the bottom side, but he's got to... Oh! He overgoes the Town Hall.
What?
So maybe he's going to overgrowth it again and just come back later and grab it.
A very light touch with the early strike here, but Darkstar knows that the main force of this army is going to stay strong, rounding around the base, counterclockwise, tearing down these middle sections with the Fire Spitters. He's got an Archer Queen now over on the right side that he's dealing with. As long as he keeps the DPS relatively low and is able to shut it down when it matters most, right now pops that Eternal Tome to protect every troop in that radius. Draws in another Overgrowth as he takes the Town Hall down for the 2nd star and continues his path to destruction along the top side of this base. Those troops still look very healthy, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, moving right on through. Those Overgrowths did work of really protecting, but unfortunately the healers have all pulled red air bombs and completely got destroyed in the core of this base. But there's so many troops still pathing through here. Look at Darkstar making his way right into the core, into the Infernos. Poison gets launched, but he still has the Royal Champion ability, the King ability, and this one is crushed here.
2 more invisibilities to drop too, and as those troops are all clumped up, they might be taking a lot of splash damage, but they'll all be protected by the invisibility spell. Fantastic deployment here from Darkstar, and another crushing victory for DIZI, finding a 3-star with even less time spent. It is another superb finish. Look at all those remaining troops. Not even an extraordinary feat for only Exceed to get all 3 triples. It seems now that DIZI can start to slow down a little bit, not have to play anything too out of the ordinary or take too many extraordinary shots. Only Luca is gonna stay the course though with this Royal Champion, charging through those Electro Boots, gonna get some additional splash damage off on structures that are surrounding the Royal Champion. And great timing on the invisibility drops so far to keep her on path. Taking a few too many hits for my liking. Does keep the Spirit Fox barely alive though, and that is a good timing boost for Luca to get some more damage done on the interior here, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, as that World Champion is charging right into the core, still as Rico did not remove that multi-target Inferno, so that stays up. As now the Root Riders or Valkyries are going to push their way straight in towards the top side of this base. The Ice Golems will be quite annoying, will get slowed up here, but continuing through and wants these balloons to pull as many traps as possible so it protects the healers. But King, Queen, and Siege Barracks coming to the left to try to help funnel these Root Riders in towards the Town Hall.
Slowed down by the Ice Golems on the outside. Not worried too much about taking a lot of damage from this entry point, but still only Exceeds. Luca knows that the triple is so crucial right now in order to keep his team in the running. He's got 2 clumps of troops though. The Root Riders going into the core, taking a shot at that Town Hall, while his heroes in the Siege Barracks over on the left side are making a second forking attack here. A little bit less favored though, because it means that the troops on the left are not benefiting from the Grand Warden's aura or his Eternal Tome. We still have 2 abilities left to use though for both the Queen and the Royal Champion, but all spells have been deployed. As that Overgrowth wears off, it's going to be all about keeping these troops on target to take down the high DPS structures that remain. Multi-target Inferno, Stone Slammer, and a long-range multi-Inferno on the back protected by the Minion Prince are all going to be way, way difficult to finish off. Sneezy finds his match against a multi-target Inferno. Oh, and a big black bomb tears him out of the sky.
With a whole Tassa farm there, the Giga Bomb's still waiting, and that is going to be too much to have to push through, especially with a Ricochet cannon. That one defense just shreds through troops so quickly now, and now with this being the 3rd attack, Woody, this is crazy. They've done 3 attacks, and they are tied on stars since DIZI got 2 triples to start.
Only Luca finds percentage in the 80s and tries to find another building anywhere he can. But the defenses will hold. Darkstar, like a supernova, will stay in the sky.
On hard mode, well, you could do it. You could try it. Go throw up a friendly challenge, but right when you press a friendly challenge, press the button that says hard mode, and then you could see how hard it actually is. But let's see how Mask come in with a fully different attack. Not dragons, not Root Riders, but it is Super Witches here.
Carbon, you are absolutely right that this hard mode is just not hard enough for players like Mask. He might be one of the goated players in this entire World Championship run. With a 94% hit rate in hard mode, I think that we need a new level of difficulty. We've got normal mode, we've got hard mode. We need Mask mode to make it difficult enough for him. He is all but expected to get a 3-star here in record time, and rounding around the bottom side of this base now with a big Super Witch army. He has got a lot of staying power in this fight.
With that wall breaker opening up to the bottom side, gonna have to deal with the Clan Castle, which is an Ice Golem and a Furnace there. But now the King's gonna join in with these Super Witches, while the P.E.K.K.A.s from the Siege Barracks running to the bottom side. And that jump spell gonna give him access straight towards that Town Hall. And there should be a wall opening there. Like, these try to drop the jump spell just barely, so it doesn't connect the right side and pushes these troops in towards the Town Hall to the top side.
We heard a rumor that Mask was going into retirement last year, but he is out with a vengeance now as the one of the best in the biz. Tosses up that spiky ball and it bounces around for massive effect, hitting both of the fire spinners and the Town Hall. A lot of damage coming in though, and those Super Witches are not making a beeline for the Town Hall. Mask is dropping everything he's got with only 2 more spells left to deploy to finish off this base. Giant a bit confused as to what the next target is going to be as the Super Witches are going to start collapsing into the core. Still getting support from that Grand Warden. Can they get a few shots off against the Town Hall, take it down and get that 2-star secured? There it is! Mask earns the double. Can he find all 3?
With that Raw Champion pushing into the Monolith, the defensive king is there. One baby dragon remaining. Gonna have to power through, but the Giga Bomb awaits the big boys, trying to provide the distraction of the tank in here.
Hold your breath, Carbon Fin, it's about to blow!
Oh my goodness. He's trying right through this ground expo, and no! The Super Witch dies. The Queen is still alive with 25 seconds. One baby dragon.
Impossible.
The baby dragon's got to be.
He's waiting to drop that baby
The
dragon
left.
to try to keep it safe from the air defense, but I don't know. Oh, he's going to outrage it, actually. 14 seconds remain, but still so much bases left. 3% is left. 10 seconds, Carbon Fin. This is going to come down to the wire. Mask has got 5 seconds. Rip it into the ricochet cannon. It's got too many hit points. And Mask's hit rate will drop.
Plan against. Just try to stop because all the different attack strategies, you just don't know what they're going to do.
A bit off meta there from Max, and he got punished in the end. We've seen a lot of successful Dragon and Root Rider strikes, but bringing in the Super Witches brought a little bit too slow of an attack, and that's always been the problem for Super Witches. They are one of the slowest comps, even if they've got a lot of staying power. Ooh, a lot of difficulty for Hiroya here charging into this base as that Royal Champion gets brought mighty far down, recalled out, but before she could finish off that Stone Slammer, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, not able to get nearly the value he was looking for there, but he
shot.
At least pulled the Royal Champion back, but the Spirit Fox is dead as the King is going to push through with the Snake Bracelet, moving into the bottom side. Headhunter to join to help pick off this minion Prince, slow him down. Defensive Ice Golem is there to cause some stuff to get frozen, but a Tesla's forced open that log launcher, which the Yetis do come out of here, but I don't think he got all that push in towards the Monolith as much as he wanted.
Split up, and with the Queen taking a few shots now, no longer supported by pets, just has the Yetis out in front. She's going to do whatever she can along that top side of the base, but the Monolith is about to get a lock onto her and get some big damage in. Hiroya's main force along the bottom corner is still charging as strong as they can. That Town Hall is pretty far away on the left side of the base, and this is looking pretty terrifying for Hiroya. Holding on to 2 more free spells and a rage ready to drop for maximum effect, but can he even power through to the final side?
Oof, the problem is that multi-target Inferno, he can't reach it with the Queen, so the Root Riders have to backtrack, and at this rate, this Town Hall is not going down.
No. The
Town Hall is going to stay up, and it's going to be a 1-star, so Mask does deliver a 98% 2-star, but his base is going to hold for the 1 and only exceed. This is definitely not going their way at all in this first match for them, and DIZI can just kick their feet.
This is seeming very confidently like Cynthi's victory march now. Cynthia, one of the most accomplished players on this team, with nearly $100,000 in winnings to his name. Expect to see great things from this Frenchman as DIZI's march is going to come on opposite corners now. Flame Flinger to strike at the left side, while the Grand Warden will begin to walk on the right. Not finding the start with a Royal Champion Invis charge as usual. He's going to start instead with a couple of different methods of long-range attack, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, this is their 4th attack and 4th different strategy here from DIZI. Love to see the just differences and not always that same attack, where this shows how strong a team like DIZI is, as now Cynthia is continuing to charge this one Invis, Earthquake, hits the multi, and secures that clan castle. And now is he going to allow this warden to solo on his own? No, nice balloons. So he dropped 4 balloons, I believe it was there, to then lure the warden down to the bottom side, because that is what will draw the warden's attention. One little troop won't do it. Depends on the housing space. If you have enough housing space, then the warden will start to follow as long as it's close enough. But with the warden now going to solo to the bottom side, his queen and king are going to work together to the top side, so he has both flanks working at the same time.
Rocket Loons are going to be the main force to tear this base apart now. As you see Super Minions taking down the monolith over on the left, it is just going to be the precision strike now on all remaining defenses. Those dozen Rocket Loons that he holds must each be deployed perfectly in order to tear apart what still remains. He's holding on to that Royal Champion. Still just hasn't deployed her yet, expecting to get a lot of value out of her later on, but needs to keep her safe and ready for maximum effect. We're approaching the last minute of combat now, and Cynthia still only has 1 star. It is going to be a rocket quick finish now as the deploy starts from the bottom left. Rocket Loons tear down a few of those structures, and he's ready to send in the Royal Champion. Do it, Cynthia! Can't wait another minute!
I mean, at this point, he sends in Rocket Loons to the top side to help protect, and Invis there. He needs to get this Royal Champion to path away to the Town Hall at this rate.
He's running out of time.
Oh, where's she going? Okay, she does go to the Town Hall. He can secure the 2nd star, but he wanted to probably get more value with that king and queen, so that's why he saved onto the Royal Champion just in case. Makes the warden invisible, and he does try to distract us. Ricochet cannon as Rocket Loons are slowly trickling in, and it is going to be a 2-star here, as his heroes didn't get as much he was probably hoping for, but still, that's plenty. As we can see, this is going to put him up to 10 stars here, and they're going to be well above only Exceed at the moment. The team that the other teams are going to be scared of after we saw how they started and the percentages that they're bringing in. So let's see only Exceed. Kazuma coming in with some Rocket Loons of his own. We do have a Grand Warden with the Sneezy, and something to keep in mind, if you ever do a Warden walk with the Sneezy, you have to be careful, because the Sneezy, when it pops the booger from the Sneezy, it will get out in front, and it could pull a clan castle when you maybe don't want that to occur. So you have to keep that in mind, as we do have the early fireball straight to the bottom side to help set up the initial, I would say, funnel, but there's no other troops that are going to move in. It's just like it's going to help path that warden as he's going to make his way to the right side, while we're going to see Kazuma's heroes, king and queen, move away from most likely to the left.
Time will tell as the long-range shots from the Flame Flinger are finding no resistance yet. Ricochet cannon about to get burnt to a crisp, while the Minion Prince on the bottom has taken a few shots from the Grand Warden. Now finish him off, and with a free spell to distract those defending CC troops, that Warden should stay relatively safe. And we see a right side attack instead now from these heroes charging in over on that right corner as the Flame Flinger sets the rest of the funnel for the raid along the top side. It looks like that left corner is going to be the last to go down here. Kazuma's first attack in a monthly finals needs to be a triple just to tie DIZI. A 2-star here means the end of the war, even before DIZI's last strike, Carbon Fin.
That is insane to think about in this hard mode. That you only have to bring 4 attacks to win a war. But as that Minion Prince is moving his way through that left side, Warden continues through the bottom. We still have the Queen ability, and look at this. He's coming through each side of this base at the same time to try to take it down, and that also is a benefit of distracting defenses while he's doing it. With the freeze and 2 invises left, Rocket Loons to sneak in to grab the Ricochet cannon. There's a freeze out of the Monolith and the Spitter, and he's got it. With a Queen ability intact, he's still got another extra spells, and this is indeed going to be a 3-star for Only Exceed. So, Woody, I'd say that's the best case scenario for him, because it could help gain momentum going into their next match, knowing that they got a 3-star, and they're going to have to
march into combat. Fluxy will be the final attacker in this war.
with the RC to start in the Invis charge. Does have that recall to pull this World Champion back. As he makes her invisible, that Tassel will probably pull her to the left. Oh, there you go. With the Invis to force the World Champion to the right side. But getting the timing of the Spare Fox correct is always so impressive.
Fluxy has competed in the 2022 and 2024 World Championship matches. He was actually in the Grand Finals in 22 and slipped by just 1 star against the Queen Walkers. And yet, Fluxy is finding another opportunity to make it back to Helsinki with a golden ticket. His first step toward that is winning this war for DIZI. Only needs 50% or that Town Hall to secure the 11th star for his team and get that next big step. But can he find a triple in this final moment? Gigabomb explodes and knocks those troops back, but a big lock onto the Town Hall should be enough to tear it down, Carbon Fin.
Ooh, the Town Hall is barely staying up. It should go down here as he does pair in that overgrowth. Over on the backside, is Town Hall still finally staying up.
Wow.
Eventually, it's gotta go down, right? Oh, finally,
Boom.
there we go. As the Root Riders continue their way through the bottom. King is down south as well. Still has the King and Queen ability. But this Warden is taking an awkward path, and he has now gone down.
It is a long march to finish off the rest of this phase. Fluxy's fingers flying across the screen and deploying the last free spell at the perfect moment will be an important complement to the last line of this attack. Multi-target Inferno and the Monolith are going to get shut down, protecting the Hogs and the Royal Champion and stabbing at the core of his base. RC's taking a big lot of damage from that Monolith. Can she finish it off? They trade shots, and the Monolith and the RC both go down. Hogs are doing their very best, but the right side of this base is given a lot of difficulty for Fluxy. As he passes the 80% mark, it's looking like it's probably going to be another 2-star as the Giant blocking the last few shots for this Archer Queen is about to go down, and there is nothing left to do. Fluxy finds a 2-star in the low to mid 80%, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to get a 3-star, but all he needed was a single star, and they have been a victor.
Only exceeds scoring 10 stars with an 83.6%. Thanks to the MVP performance by Kazuma at the last side. But who is going to be the MVP over?
Gets down there, as you see, only exceed those 2 matches at the very far left at the bottom.